Did you know that beating the market by just 5% each year over 20 years could save you 6.5 years of working? Imagine being able to retire that much earlier. And that's just the beginning. If you outperform the market by more than 5%, you could save even more time. But how do we achieve this? How do we invest like the big players? Well, it's actually pretty simple. All it takes is patience, time, and the strategy we're going to talk about in this video. The strategy I'm talking about is broken down into 6 steps. Starting with the first and most important one, understand the game. You're buying businesses, not just stocks. What this means is that we're not simply purchasing ticker symbols on a screen, we're investing in real companies. When you approach investing with this mindset, you begin to think like a business owner. You look at the company's business model, understand how money flows through the organization, and assess whether it has strong growth potential. This perspective is absolutely critical for long term success. If we ignore these fundamental aspects and treat investing like a guessing game, it can seriously hurt our returns down the line. Thinking like an owner helps us make smarter, more sustainable decisions over time. The second step is to use the S curve. Find companies in acceleration mode. What we're really looking for are companies that have just started to accelerate their growth. This can be tricky to identify, so here's how I approach it. First, I want the company to be profitable for at least 1 year. This ensures it isn't struggling with debt or running out of cash. When it comes to growth, there are two types of companies to consider. One is slightly larger companies that have already proven their business model by delivering double digit growth for at least 2 years. This track record serves as proof of concept that their strategy works. The other type is smaller companies that are still early in their growth journey. For these, you need to dig deeper into their growth potential by analyzing different scenarios and asking whether their plan can realistically sustain double digit growth over the coming years. Both types can offer great opportunities, but smaller companies generally have more upside if they succeed. Step 3, look for modes over momentum. Focus on durable competitive edges. Instead of chasing hype or short term momentum, you want to find companies that are building or have already built something truly defensible. Questions that you can ask yourself is what makes this company hard to compete with? What gives it an edge that frustrates or even threatens competitors? This could be anything from strong brand loyalty to superior technology, network effects, or cost advantage. These are the traits that help a company not just survive but thrive over the long term. Now, here's the challenge. Many early stage growth companies haven't fully developed their mode yet. That's why there are two main ways to play this. One is look at slightly more established companies that already have a clear mode in place. The other is to identify smaller, emerging companies that are in the process of building one. Either way, if the company is still growing and has strong future potential, there's upside. But naturally, the smaller company often offers the most upside if it succeeds. And if you manage to find a smaller company that already has a defensible moat, that's the sweet spot. The fourth step is to bet bigger on conviction, not noise. This means you don't need 30 different stocks in your portfolio. Instead, focus on owning 8 to 15 high quality businesses that you understand deeply. Too much diversification can actually work against you. It spreads your attention thin and ties your results to a broader range of industries, many of which you might not fully grasp. The result, average performance. It's incredibly difficult to pick 30 long term winners, but if you concentrate your effort on a handful of companies you've researched thoroughly, businesses where you understand the model, the risks, and the growth potential, you give yourself a better shot at meaningful returns. In short, tune out the noise, block out the hype, and bet bigger on what you truly believe in. This leads us to the fifth step, hold through the noise. This is where most people fail. This is the part of investing that separates real conviction from casual interests. Many people panic when their portfolio drops, but what they often forget is that volatility isn't risk, it's opportunity. Nearly every great stock has experienced 30 to 50% pullbacks on the way to delivering 10x returns. The key is simple, but not really easy. If your investment thesis is still intact, you hold. That's it. The hard part is mastering your emotions during the downturns. Red numbers can trigger fear, doubt, and even irrational decisions, but that's when discipline matters the most. In the beginning, this will feel tough. You might second guess yourself or feel the urge to sell, but over time, as you gain experience and perspective, you'd realize that market drops are just a part of the journey, not signs to jump ship, but opportunities to hold or even buy more when others are afraid. The last and final step is trim the dead weight, not the winners. One of the biggest mistakes investors make is selling a stock just because it's gone up, but a rising price doesn't mean it's time to cash out. What matters are the fundamentals. You only sell when those start to break down. If the business is still growing, the numbers are strong, and your thesis is intact, then hold on, because that's where the real gains happen. Great companies often become greater, and your winners will do the heavy lifting in your portfolio. Let them run. On the flip side, if a company's fundamentals start to deteriorate, slowing growth, rising debt, or a failing business model, that's when it's time to consider trimming or exiting. Don't hold on to losers out of hope and don't cut winners out of fear. In the end, the goal is simple: keep the compounders, drop the bad stocks. That's how you stay ahead of the majority. You know what else causes most investors to underperform? Bad financial data. And that's exactly where the sponsor of this video, EODHD, comes in. They provide an API key that gives you access to high quality financial data, the kind every investor needs, but most don't know where to find. We all know how frustrating it is to manually copy and paste data from different websites into our spreadsheets. But with the EODHD API, you can pull data directly into your sheets, and the best part, it updates in real time. So if you're serious about leveling up your research, check them out. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Now that it's August, make sure to check out these stocks to watch this month right here.